Hey, babe.
Hey, pantsless love.
So
She's really not wearing any pants right now.
Yeah, I'm really not. But you know what? It doesn't matter because you can't see
I can't
anywhere.
see anything. I can't see anything either.
You wouldn't know unless I said it.
Had you not seen anything, I would never have noticed.
How many people do you think that work from home work without any pants on?
Okay, define pants first of all. Like completely naked, less than 10%. Panties / underwear, probably 85%.
You that high?
Yeah. I mean,
no.
I take it back. Probably 50%. Then you got like 30% that wear like shorts. Yep. Then you have that small percentage that actually dress up and wear full on pants.
So that's pretty spot on. So
you actually know?
I did. I looked it up because I'm like, what else am I going to be doing today? Nothing. I'm literally doing nothing. So why am I putting pants on? This is silly. So I decided to take a look at it and see how many people that actually work from home without pants.
Okay.
And according to this survey, it says that about 47% of people that work from home work without pants.
Okay. So that could assume shorts, underwear. It's hard to.
I think it's kind of just saying no pants at all, no leg wears, the way they actually word it. And then and what's even more interesting to me is that it says that men are 3 times as likely to work without pants compared to women.
Okay, well then they definitely mean the dude's wearing underwear.
Yeah, he's
because
wearing
if you're
boxers.
Sitting around like free balling,
I don't think
like,
women
that's
are
weird.
sitting around without underwear either. Like,
okay, well I guess that's what I'm saying is like just defining it, but that sounds about right. I mean, honestly.
Do you work without pants very often?
No, I mean I will wear shorts.
Do you ever just sit around in your underwear?
You know, now that you say that, I don't really.
You really don't?
No, like even when I get undressed, like if I come home from somewhere, I get undressed, I immediately go in to put on my like cut off jogging pants.
Mm-hmm. You do.
What are they called?
I call them old, is what I call them.
It's Cam's company.
Need to be
Cam's
replaced.
company.
It's nice. It's
nice.
Yeah,
it's
nice.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, those need to be replaced.
I love them. They fit me good. I think look good.
We need Cam. We need some more joggers.
Yeah, I reached out to him a while back, and I think he said he could still get me some, so I should try to hit him up.
It's literally a pair of joggers. Like I don't understand the difference.
Well, they're jogging pants. They're not joggers,
but they're shorts,
yeah,
so they're cut off. I literally can get a pair of jogging pants for you. And
we could go to Walmart and do that.
So why are we not doing that?
Because those are nice.
Oh wow.
But yeah, we could actually. Now that you say that, we could do that. So.
Oh wow.
Can you do that for Christmas, please?
Oh yeah, I could put it in your stocking. Matter of fact.
that is special stocking I'm gonna have.
Yeah.
So.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to like pay attention to how I'm moving around here on the YouTube video because I don't.
That's actually.
I don't want to actually have a crotch shot.
Or do you?
Or do we want to go viral here?
We can get
like,
some subscriptions on here.
Let's see. So anyway. I thought that was interesting to start with.
Yeah, thank you.
So what's been going on?
Nothing.
It's been boring, actually, hasn't it?
Well, the weather doesn't help.
Oh.
We're about to get into some busy weekends. I feel like, when I have to pull my calendar out and put social stuff on the calendar, that's when you know it's getting a little busy.
And thank God, though. I'm glad you finally did that last night because it was
I
driving
got tired
me
of
crazy.
asking myself.
You asking me 18 times, what do we have going on Saturday? And I'm like, if I got to tell you this one more motherfucking time.
So we got, this weekend, we got a Friday play we're going to. And then Saturday, I know what we got going on. I got it on my calendar. And then Sunday, I think we have a brunch, right?
You don't remember what we have going on Saturday?
Oh my gosh, give me a hint. Remember.
No, I'm not telling you. I'm done talking.
I have it on my account, but I know it's some Friday,
but you
Saturday.
know what? So it's crazy because it was Thanksgiving and now it's all of a sudden Christmas. Like literally, it feels like it's fixing to be Christmas next week.
It really is. Well, not next week.
It's not next week.
It's this year's just flying by.
These weeks in between Thanksgiving and Christmas really are flying by, and they're packed in, and we do have quite a bit. I do feel like the month started off kind of slow. We didn't have a ton going on, but we do have a pretty busy, I would say, next 5 or 6 days. And then we've had some really exciting. Georgia's played twice.
Yeah.
And two nail freaking biters.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Against Tech, it was 8 overtimes, which I said I've been around football my entire life, and I have never seen that before.
Has anybody? Was that not a? It
No,
wasn't
the
a
record was
was
9.
It?
Yeah, the
And
record
who
was
did?
9.
When did that record happen?
I don't know, but what I also don't know is, now when you get into, I think it's the third overtime and beyond, you've got to go for 2-point conversion.
I don't like the way they're doing it.
And I don't know how long that's been in place, but I feel like that their intention was to speed it up.
It did not.
But I feel like it did the opposite.
And we're not late night like that. That game went past midnight. It was past midnight. It was into Sunday before that game was over, and we had invited people over thinking that the game was on Saturday, honestly, and it ended up being on Friday. I guess it went into Saturday because it was a Friday night game. We didn't realize it was a Friday night game until we'd already invited people over, and we were like, oh, damn shit, okay, well. And then, people stayed until the whole game ended, which, if we were at somebody's house, we'd probably be like, deuces, we gone.
Yeah.
Which is completely fine, and I didn't have a hard time staying up because it was a very nail-biting game, so that was fun. And
then beat Texas.
Golly, and then what the hell? Come on,
which
guys.
honestly,
it is killing me.
It's always been said that beating the same team twice in the same year is very difficult.
Yes.
So I was pleased then when they came out with the rankings, because the playoff rankings, because we're the likelihood, in my opinion, of us playing Texas again are relatively low. They play Clemson the first round.
Unless it's absolutely in the championship. That would be the only time, right?
Yes, that is actually correct. Or, no, I take it back. It could be. Yeah, it will be. So you've got Texas, Clemson, then you got Tennessee, Ohio State. The winner of Texas and Clemson play Arizona State. I personally think Arizona State could beat both of them. Oregon plays the winner of Tennessee, Ohio State. I think Oregon will win that one. Boise State plays the winner of Penn State and SMU. I have no clue who will win those. Indiana, Notre Dame. Georgia plays the winner of Indiana, Notre Dame. So in my opinion, us playing the winner of Indiana, Notre Dame, in my opinion, is the best possible outcome for Georgia.
Yeah, it'll be interesting next year to see if they do, in fact, change the way this bracket falls out, because it's kind of jacked up, honestly.
Because of the bye, you mean?
Yeah, and if you're coming from the number one team's perspective, that and what I heard all the analysts, Saban, all of them talking about, is that being number one, you're having to fight through number 2, number 3, number 4, versus where typically you would be fighting through your number 12th, 11th
Number 1
teams.
goes to 12,
yeah,
number 2 is 11.
It is a harder road to the championship for the number
but
one team.
But you get a bye. You get a bye, which is a
True.
huge deal.
So I think they're going to have to possibly figure that stuff out next year. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Well, the other interesting...
It's giving everybody a lot to talk about, if nothing else.
Well, it is, and it's fun. You actually need to go watch... You would get a kick out of this because you like Saban, but they showed... and I actually didn't see this when they did it, but they had Stark and Kirby on the pregame with them on College Game Day before the SEC championship. And I think this was legit. Sometimes they do this voiceover thing, but I think this was legit based on the way everyone reacted. But they asked Sarkisian something about, playing twice or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And then asked the same question to Kirby, and they both kind of gave a
politically correct answer.
And then they said, "Well, Saban, both of
Saban.
Saban, both of them have worked. What are your thoughts on this?" He's like, "Well, I think both of them are bullshitting us." And so then, of course, hearing that from him, Pat just goes crazy. I mean, everyone's dying laughing. And,
oh my God!
You need to go check it out.
For sure.
I didn't see it either. I saw it on TikTok or something today. But anyhow, my hope is that we see a dogs versus ducks in the national championship. I think Oregon's probably the best team in the country, followed by Georgia. But I think that if we were to go up against them, I think that Georgia would probably prevail, just because of experience in that situation. But also too because Dan Lanning is a former Georgia coach, and he's out in Oregon.
That's interesting. So isn't that interesting? For Kirby to have played people that are former coaches for him, whether defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, is that not weird? Because they know how Kirby works, they know how Georgia works. Is that not make it more difficult? You could say the same thing
about Saban. I mean, Saban has created some of the best coaches in the country. In fact, Dan Lanning, I think, worked at Alabama at some point. So Saban has some influence over.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
He really is the goat.
Yeah.
Like, he's the goat.
He really truly is the goat.
The goat. I think he's just getting better and better on College Game Day. And to watch him when those rankings came out, when he and Kirk were on whatever show that was, when the rankings came out, and he was like, well, that's my opinion. That's the only one I got.
That's the only one I got, yeah.
It was so funny to me.
Well, at the beginning of the year or I guess probably if you say last year, when they said we're going to go to a 12-team playoff, I think everyone was excited about that. But I don't think anyone anticipated a Boise State doing what they did, and Indiana doing what they did, and SMU doing what they did. I mean, you had so many of these.
You got so many analysts that they should have been able to participate. Like, this literally what they get paid to do is
Arizona State was literally picked to finish last in their conference.
But isn't it?
In
like
their
Saban,
conference.
See, I'm on the Saban train. Like, I don't like him. I don't care what you guys say. He knows his stuff. And so what I'm hearing him say is that, and probably a lot of them, this whole portal is making
100%.
it very difficult. And so it could be that the portal this year had so much to do
100%.
with these teams and how they're doing, because when you don't have depth on the bench to go to.
Look at you.
I know, look at
you
me.
sound like a damn analyst.
I know, because this portal, these kids, let's just say what it is, they're not men, they are kids, they're 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. When they get their feelings hurt and they're not starting, they want to go play for a team where they're going to start. And I understand that, completely understand that, but that really puts these coaches at a disadvantage of, well, I thought I had this player, well, now I don't. Well, now I'm shut out of luck. Like, that makes it, they got to fix that. They got to do something around that.
And I agree 100%. I think that what they're considering doing is just like an NFL team has a salary cap, I think that they're going to cap the amount of money that schools can pay for these kids.
I didn't realize that was the other thing, is how much they are paying these kids. I did not, and not the schools, but the alumni, which, I mean, it's basically the school saying, you come here and we'll pay you this kind of money. And that's separate from the NIL money. Like, that's
the
money
big
these
recruits
kids are
too.
making is stupid. Like, this is insane to me. This
But
is
that's
ridiculous.
that's the top tier
Correct.
athletes or whatever. But to your point, if I'm a 4-star athlete out of high school, I go somewhere like a Georgia or an Alabama, and in my first year I'm a backup, but behind a 5-star, who's going to get drafted in the NFL or whatever, and I'm not immediately starting, I'm going to go to a Vanderbilt, or I'm going to go to an SMU, or I'm going to go to an Arizona State where I can be a starter. The thing is, though, I think that they have to make sure the other thing they limit is like you ought to be able to move around only so many times.
You should only be able to move once per
maybe,
season.
right.
Like,
once
the season starts, you should not be able to move at that point.
And I don't think you can. I can't swear to, but I don't think you can.
I would love for Jackson to tell me.
Yeah.
Jackson would know. If anybody would know, Jackson would. But I feel like once you go in this portal one time, that's it. You get a one and done, one move.
But I think one time in your
once
college
per
career,
season.
not once. I don't think you ought to be. The point is,
you can't just in the middle of the season up and go.
Again, I don't think that's right.
I don't know.
But that's neither here nor there. I think that they got to be able to find a way to limit the bouncing, because some of these kids now that are like 50-year seniors, they've played at 4 or 5 different schools, and I'm like,
that makes this whole coaching thing extremely difficult. I would think so.
But it also gives these schools an opportunity to be competitive, and that part of it is very, very, very exciting.
It's definitely been the most exciting season that I can ever think of watching.
Word on the street is that the University of Alabama was thinking about sponsoring Life's Little Arguments.
They were. I didn't get that.
But now that they backed out of that, I'm going to say I'm glad y'all bitches didn't make it into the playoffs for once.
Oh, man.
Because honestly, Alabama somebody needed to pump the brakes on Alabama for a hot second. They'll be back next year. They'll be great. Everybody will be back on that train. But I honestly am always worried about playing Alabama.
Yeah, for sure.
Because for whatever reason,
they always find a way. They always find a way. So that is scary. So anyway,
So that being said, I don't know how this segues into TikTok, but I'm a little salty. About something that's going on in TikTok right now.
Okay.
I have gotten a little bug of
fame.
Fame, right? Fame. God darn. I mean,
I am
talent. I am
famous.
talent on Life's Little Arguments,
Yeah,
and
that's what word on the street is.
One day it's going to take off and we'll experience fame in a different way. But I had this not this podcast. I had this
You had a
video.
TikTok that I said, you need to make this TikTok.
Right.
And so I told you everything to do in this TikTok. I filmed this TikTok for you. I put it together and I gave it to you.
It's not very difficult. But,
you didn't do
it. But between y'all ought to see mine and Annie's inboxes, like our Instagram and our TikTok inboxes. I bet we send 40 videos a week to each other where we're just like, here's an idea, or I like this
normal.
one. And but between business and couples and funny stuff, like we're just constantly
I feel like
sending.
that's the main form of communication for most people these days, because my friend groups too. Like I have 4 or 5 different groups that I'm in that, we just are constantly sending TikToks to each other.
So, but the frustrating part is this video, if you've not gone to my TikTok, you should, because I'm at 1.9 million views.
It's already up to 1.9?
Yeah, and I'm waiting for it to click over to 2 million.
That's insane.
It really is. And it's got a lot of likes and all that stuff too.
That's really insane. And the other one that we did, it was on my page.
It has just shy of 300,000 likes on it.
We were at like 979,000.
Yeah.
I didn't quite make it to 1 million on that one.
So you'll experience it one day. but anyhow,
Wow. You're welcome.
It's so weird. I don't understand the way TikTok works, because we've done other stuff where I'm like, this is cool, this is funny, this is creative, whatever. And it gets no love. And then you put a video that's relatively simple, very simple to make.
It's always the simple ones.
Yeah, but then some bitch has like almost 2 million.
That's why I keep telling you, stop caring so much about what you look like, if you've had a shower, what's in the background. It does not matter. Like the short ones that you do not care about.
Pot calling a kettle black. She's saying that shit. You ought to see how many times she records.
Please go look at my TikToks and see what I look like.
What was crazy is when this one was going viral, it was like every time I picked up my phone, it would be like 12.5 thousand these notifications, and then like we would eat dinner, and then I'd pick my phone back up, and it'd be like 14,000, and I'm just like, this is insane.
It really went to your head.
So then we post a couple of other ones,
and now you're depressed.
Then I post another one that I think is 10 times better than this other one, and it's at 4,200 views. And I'm just like, you pick up your phone, and it's like eight notifications, and I'm like, this is... So anyways, I say all that to say these people that like they rely on TikTok like as their main form of income or popularity or whatever. Like, man, I could see how it could do something to your psyche.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like, and if they ever I don't know if they're going to take.
If you talk about like that's what your self-worth is based on, like that's.
And if they ever really and truly do anything with TikTok and get rid of like some of these people, like it's going to cause a real issue.
That a because we talked about it. I feel like at dinner or something with people, and so my take on that is that the United States, whether you want to say that's the United States, whether it's people, these other CEOs, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, they want that algorithm. That algorithm is worth so much money at this point because they cannot figure it out, and it is driving these other platforms batshit crazy.
What do you mean by that? What do you think that an Instagram or Facebook is? What makes their algorithm different? Do you what is?
I don't know. Do you sit on Facebook and look at reels?
No.
Do you go to Instagram and look at reels?
But you know why? Because fuck Instagram.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They do not have that magic sauce. So they don't have that same sauce
to get you addicted.
Well, yeah, to push things to you that they know that you're looking for. Either based on what you've been looking for or, things that you've put in the search bar or whatever. You would think that was pretty easy, I suppose, to capture that. Yeah. But for whatever reason, that particular algorithm, and then how it changes, and then why it changes, and what's on the FYP page and stuff like that for you versus for me, these other platforms don't have that algorithm, and it is driving them crazy to the point. This is my conspiracy theory, is that they are putting pressure on the U.S. government, whoever, to get rid of TikTok, and not get rid of TikTok. They don't really want to get rid of TikTok, but they want to devalue it to the point to push these people out, to force the price down so that they have to sell it. that probably is all not completely making sense, but basically they want to drive this price down. They want to force them to sell it. They're going to scoop in. They're going to buy it. They're going to have the algorithm, the TikTok algorithm, that's going to be like, and it has nothing to do. This whole, like, they're stealing your information.
Security.
Bullshit.
Guess,
Such
okay,
bullshit.
right.
They all have it already.
Right.
Shein, Temu, all these, Amazon,
Facebook,
all of them.
Instagram,
they all have it
yeah.
already. So it's some bullshit about this whole, they're spying on you. No.
Everybody's spying on us.
No, it's the algorithm. They want that fucking algorithm.
Because, and people get so worked up over that. Like, here's the thing. Me personally, I like being able to talk about something and then it shows up. Whether or not it's on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, it doesn't matter. I am a believer in these ads popping up. I would venture to say that 75% of the stuff I buy now is as a result of...
Yeah,
take for example those shoes that I bought yesterday.
And that's great, and that is nice for you, I suppose, as a consumer. I will say, as a former small business owner, it does suck for those small businesses that do not have the access to that or the capability or the money to be able to do those type of things that these big companies can. So
that's true.
It does suck from that standpoint, and it will be it will kill our economy.
But I guess the only thing I'm trying to say is they act like it's just whoever they is acting like it's just TikTok. No, it's everybody,
and it has nothing to do with our information. They have all of our information anywhere. Matter of fact, what does it matter? What does my information matter? They already know everything in your life is tracked. Everything.
Yeah. If they really wanted to do something.
Starting from when you were born. I mean, you're tracked from when you were born with your birth certificate and then your social security number. So it's not like, it's not like your stuff isn't out there. And I don't know about y'all, but like, what are they going to get from me?
I don't know,
my
but
$11 in my checking account.
So part of it is, when you have that one go viral, it is. And I've got another one that's like 338,000 or whatever.
Yeah, I
no,
just on this TikTok.
No, but
oh my God.
But
brag a little bit more.
Okay, but hold on. When we went into this, the goal was to get to at least 1,000 followers, and at the time I had like 837 or something, and then
that was your goal, yes.
Within a week and a half.
So we could go live, and we've not gone live yet.
Right.
Because I don't know, like, what do you do when you go live on TikTok?
We should be live right now, actually.
We need another phone and another tripod so we could go live. That's
I got one right here.
Well, we need another tripod. That's what we should be doing.
So, but I've gone from 837 to 1520, so that part of it is fine. But the thing is, like, you get these follow requests, these friend requests or whatever, and it's like I go to them, and if they don't have a picture, I automatically just leave them alone. If they do have a picture of some sort, I'll click on it. And if they have, 10 or more posts, I'll normally follow them back. But if it's just like one picture, I'm just like, this is craziness.
I don't want to say I don't have time for that. I do have time for that, but I just don't. That's like the last thing on my to-do list that I feel like doing is going and looking at these people and deciding whether or not I want to follow them back. That sounds like, work.
I'm trying to.
Sounds like work.
Anyways.
So
that's been my TikTok experience.
You're like sort of TikTok famous for a second.
Yeah.
And these comments were cracking me up. I did have somebody send me a message. She's like, girl, these comments on this TikTok are cracking me up because she's like, these women going, can I pet that dog? And I'm like, maybe I need to go look at these comments. And then I'm like, maybe Kent needs an OnlyFans account. Why am I trying to worry about this? He's the one that needs an OnlyFans account, apparently.
So the TikTok, I'm in the Jeep, but you can't see me, but it has a...
we'll post it.
Yeah, okay. So anyhow, that's what it's about. And of course...
It's not original. Like, we didn't come up with this. I saw somebody else doing it. I was like, oh, that's funny. Let me just recreate. I've yet to have any type of original, I feel like...
that's what I don't have time for, is to try to sit around and think about original stuff.
That time? And I'm also, again, I've already said this. I'm a nailed it type of girl. I'm not like coming up with original ideas. I'm usually like seeing a meme somewhere and taking it and doing something with it, or seeing somebody else do it and let's like tweak it and make it our own. But it just hit the right time for whatever reason, the right day, the right time, the right people. And they you were a little bit, I guess this was kind of your version of a thirst trap, because these women were definitely like, that's rude. I'll come give him some water and give him some belly rubs and stuff like that. And I was like,
I'll give him some treats.
Okay. how do we feel about this?
Anyways.
I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm probably blushing a little bit right now.
You are. I think you are. Because and it's actually kind of scary because I think you liked it a little too much. Like that is a little bit worrisome for me.
Those comments you mean?
I'm just thinking, like, what if you were to really become sort of like TikTok famous or something like that? Or let's say we did some sort of reality show and I do worry that you would care so much about all these opinions and interacting.
The good news is that's not going to happen. The good news is that's not going to happen. How do we know?
You're almost at 2 million on that TikTok.
That's one view. I mean, one
right,
video.
And that's how you're acting already. So I'm worried about what else might possibly happen. So,
you stupid.
Anyway.
All right.
I'm not giving you any more good ideas because of that.
Okay.
So,
To be honest.
Well, so Lauren and I went to see Wicked. You did not go. That is not your jam. And
first of all, it's a musical, which I don't necessarily mind all musicals. Like the Greatest Showman, I love it. It's a musical, really cool, whatever. I gotta grab that call when done. But it's also like 3+ hours, and me.
I really don't think it was. It said that it was supposed to be, but it did not feel like it.
Well, y'all were there y'all were gone for 3 hours.
It's constantly moving and going, and I did not understand. Like, I had never seen Wicked before. I've never seen any form of Wicked before, so I had no really clue what to expect. I mean, I Googled a little bit to kind of understand the premise. But I didn't realize, so it's a part 1. Did we tell you that?
You did tell me that, yeah.
So there will be a part 2 coming out next year, which I'm very excited to see the part 2 of it. But it to me is very interesting, and it just made me want to go down this whole TikTok Wicked rabbit hole because there's so many theories about all this stuff, and I really wouldn't mind going back and seeing it yet a second time just because it's so freaking good, and to me the music is not too much. But we waited so long to go see it. There was literally like 6 people in the theater. But we had gone through a weekday. Whatever.
Well, it'll be.
I thought it was very, very good to me.
It'll be on streaming very soon, and we'll watch it. I'll turn the stereo on and everything.
There's no amount of that could be the same.
Replicated. Okay.
It was very, very interesting and very good. And I didn't realize. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was really good. So I highly recommend going to see that.
Babe, where are you looking right now?
I'm just looking.
Like, we have a camera right here.
Am I supposed to be looking directly at that camera?
Yes, this is YouTube. Do you think somebody on YouTube wants you sitting there and stare at the
Do you think the person on YouTube
ceiling?
thinks I'm looking directly at them, talking directly
Maybe.
into their soul?
That's what strippers
do. At a point
do.
in time when I'm...
Strippers look you dead in the eye to connect with them.
The strippers, huh?
Yeah. So I'm connecting with people right now.
Really?
Not that saying that I'm a stripper.
You see a lot of strippers on YouTube?
No, but what I'm saying is like I'm wanting them to feel that I'm talking to them. And I need you to do that.
Okay.
When I went to Talent University, that was one of the first things they taught us.
Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is at Talent University.
So you had said, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you ever use that in a sentence? Like, do you ever are talking to somebody and you're like, to be honest, and then basically tell them something that, is it really honest or is it just rude?
I know what you're talking about.
Where are you looking now?
It was my thought.
You should be looking at our audience right here.
In training, we call that a thought bubble. You look up like,
a thought bubble. I'm going to make one of those pop up of your head when I do this.
I know what you're talking about. I don't personally do that. Typically, what I say is, I'm not going to lie to you. And your response is always, I love when you're not going to lie to me.
Yeah.
But I know what you're talking about. To be honest, no, I don't say that. But I think I feel like that's a girl thing more than a guy thing.
Do you ever talk like? Okay, so where I heard somebody talking about it was another podcast, and they were talking about somebody in a comment or whoever had put out a thought that really wasn't a nice thought. It was just a thought, but they followed it with a TBH. So, to be honest. And it's like, okay, so are you just throwing that in there? And is that really your honest opinion? Or is it really just your way to
try to soften it,
be rude? Right. It's just, to me, that's... when people say that, it's not the to be honest piece, because I'm like thinking about my text messages and my group messages, and I'm like, oh shit, I ever put to be honest? like if I say something and then put to be honest, because I have been told before that I can be very direct, which is really funny to me to hear. It's so odd to ever hear somebody tell me that, because I'm like, no, I'm the furthest thing from being direct.
You know why they think that?
Why?
Because when you tell stories, you act like you hard as hell. It's like Lauren telling a story, and she's like, and I said this, and I said that, and then we're like, did you actually say it? And she's like, no.
I don't think that's it.
You're the same way.
I think it's really, they're like, whoa, you just like came with a lot of...
Girl, you ain't hard.
Right, I know, that's what I'm saying. And so when people have told me that I'm very direct, I'm like, no, I'm not.
I don't recall you saying
direct.
TBH or to be, because honestly, if you're texting,
but I'm wondering if I'm putting that in there, because I'm like, oh, that is rude.
Well, to whoever's defense, if you're trying to type TBH in a text, chances are you mistyped it. You probably put TBS
Listen,
or
that's just
TBT
part of
or
being my friend. If you are if you have accepted my friend contract, then in the fine print it says you are responsible for deciphering what I meant to type, not what actually was typed, but what I meant to type.
Yeah. So you have some versions of this. So you got to be honest, and then you got not to be mean, but
it's always mean.
Like that, to me, that one's a lot more direct. The one to be honest can kind of it can be a little lighter maybe, but when someone starts off with not to be mean, but
it's always going to be mean. Yeah. And it's like, I guess if I've asked for your opinion,
or
like
don't
your
take
honest
this the wrong
opinion, then I'm expecting that from you. But if we're just having a conversation and you decide to give me your opinion when I've not asked for it, and you follow it up with, I'm not being mean, I'm just being real, I'm just being honest. No, you're being rude is what it is. Like, there is a way to express yourself that is not rude like that. And maybe that's just me, because I'm a feelings type person. Yeah. I'm a feelings girl, so I feel all those feelings, and I take your tone and the way that you're saying it along with the words that you're saying to determine how I feel about what it is that you said. But I just think there's a way to go about saying those things that you can soften the blow. You don't have to not sugarcoat it, but you still can be politically correct. I mean, I hate to say that word, but basically kind of what I'm talking about.
So I think I would kind of take a different approach. Instead of saying, if I'm being honest, I don't really like your hair today. That's an approach that we're kind of talking about.
Is that why you were laughing when we first
If I start with, to be honest,
what is
to
wrong
be honest,
with you today?
I don't know that I like your hair today. No, I'm just giving you an example. I could say your sweatshirt. I could say
you laughed at me as soon as we hit play, and you looked at my hair. So you really don't like my hair.
What I was laughing at, because you were basically,
it's fucking clean. Like, what is the problem?
What I was laughing at
was, I only do what I can do because my hair is fucking breaking and falling out.
Okay, I shouldn't have fucking picked hair. I could have picked anything. But the point is, the approach that I would take to soften is
you could have picked anything, but you didn't.
Okay, I'm looking in the mirror. It's either your sweatshirt or your hair. Which do you prefer?
Neither. Why don't you say something about something else?
Okay,
I have to
it's
be
the point of what would you...
The example.
Did you ask my opinion about the hair?
No.
Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make here. So you didn't ask my opinion about my hair, but I'm going to start off with, if I'm being honest, I don't know that I like your hair today. Not only am I being rude, but I'm also talking about something you didn't ask me to give an opinion on. Mm-hmm. But another approach could be, so what do you think about your hair today? Which is worse.
I really don't know what to do. Like, I'm beyond myself with this.
You're taking this way too...
Yes, I am. Because you want to honestly look me in the eye.
You would never make it through talent school.
Look me in the eye. Look me in the eye right this second and tell me you're not being serious about what you're saying about my hair.
If I'm being serious, what I was thinking when I was looking in this mirror is I was going to use it on myself and say, here's an example. Somebody could say to me, Kent, to be honest with you, I don't know if I like your hair like that, trying to grow it out. And then I thought, well, what I would probably say is, Kent, what do you think about your hair now that you're growing it out? But I thought to myself, it would be weird to have a monologue here by myself. So I thought, well, let me pass it on to Annie to get the same fucking example, but you're getting too damn defensive. There's no way you'd ever make it through talent school, I swear. You would get cut on day one. You're going
to be lucky to wake up tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, whatever. So, to be honest...
Because what is it that they put in the liver? What did they inject into the liver? Oh, you weren't watching that last night. Oh, never mind.
What was it?
Never mind. Don't worry about it.
I don't know, but can we just watch and can you talk about Landman?
What about it?
I freaking love that show. It might be arguably my favorite show on TV
You like
right
it because of Old Chick. And, I'm getting a little perturbed with you making comments about her and how good she looks and then looking at me. If I'm being honest.
No, it's because y'all remind me of one another.
No, that's some bullshit.
Y'all are both beautiful.
That's absolute bullshit.
And I'm trying to think, what's her name? It starts A-R.
I thought you called her Allie.
Allie, yeah, it's Allie. Yeah, Allie.
You know her.
Allie Larder. So, anyways, my attraction to Allie Larder is not just. I mean, she's pretty now, but she was on Varsity Blues, and that was in '96 or something.
I don't know.
So, I graduated in '97, so it was at the height of my interest in
women.
I don't know. So anyhow, she was hot then, and she's hot 30 years later, which is pretty impressive. But
good for her.
I mean, if you look at her, I mean, she's 5'8", blonde, good shape. You're 5'8", blonde, good shape.
No, I got a shape, but it ain't good right now. That's for sure. So
I don't know.
but I'm gonna get back to it on like the 5th or 6th. What's the first Monday in January?
Yeah. See, that was a funny freaking TikTok.
It was funny to you, but it wasn't like. I mean, it would have been funnier to me doing it the way.
WTH one.
Yeah. But you don't listen to me, so whatever.
So anyhow, I sent Annie a picture today, and I swear to y'all, and I probably look like this on here too. It looked like I had peanuts in my cheeks. I don't understand what it is about my body that. Whether or not I lose 5 pounds or gain 5 pounds or whatever, it always goes to my cheeks. That, my friends, is why Andy does not like me to shave my beard.
Have you ever lost your cheeks?
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
So it's not really if you gain 5 pounds or if you lose 5 pounds, it goes to your cheeks. That's not a true, accurate statement.
No, what I'm saying is even when I weighed 200
you
pounds.
always have cheeks.
Correct. Even when I weighed 200
what
pounds.
What you just said that went the opposite direction. Okay. People can weigh in. They can weigh in if they want to. I'm telling you.
It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
That's what I'm telling you.
Anyway, so you just have chubby cheeks.
Yeah, I just have chubby cheeks. I cannot help it.
It's for me. It's the boobs. Like if I lose 5 pounds, it's gonna go from the boobs, and if I gain, it's gonna go right to the boobs.
So you're saying you've lost 5 pounds and
just
you still had boobs?
Big boobs.
I like your boobs.
They're a little too booby right now.
No, I feel like they're getting smaller. I do worry that one of the pouches is.
Well, that for sure. I don't think, no, it's the gummy, or isn't it?
Yeah, but they can still break.
Right, but it still stays intact.
I don't know that that's the case.
I'm pretty sure that's what they said. It's not like, is it jelly bean?
Gummy. Your gummy or gummy bear, whatever it is.
Okay, whatever. Anyway. Yeah. So speaking of
gummy bears?
Body issues.
Okay. Yeah, jeez.
Oh my God. So I went on a little bit of a rant this week. Because I kept thinking about it, and I could not hold it in. And so I went live on or maybe it wasn't live, I don't know. Anyway, on my Instagram.
You told me. I still have not gone to watch it yet.
I thought you said you watched it, and you were like, you didn't say that much.
No. Well, I saw something, little word thing you put on your story. No. There was like, if you say this about weak people do this, weak people do that, weak people do this.
Yeah. I think that was today.
I thought that's what you were referring to.
No,
okay.
I literally.
Well, I need to go back and watch it then.
Go to my Instagram right now. I'll show you which one it is.
We're on a freaking podcast
anyway,
right now.
I just couldn't deal with it.
She would fail talent school.
Here's the backstory. The backstory is Lauren had her holiday party, her work party, yesterday. And
shout out, Sonny's.
They were doing it at House and Lake Country Club, and so she wanted a dress. She thought, everybody that goes, they, dress up, dressier than just.
I wonder how dressy she was compared to everyone else.
I asked her. She said it was kind of like in the middle, or not in the middle. Like she said, there were a couple people who had dresses on like she did, and then some who had normal dresses on, and some who had jeans on. One girl even came in leggings. So, she wanted a new dress. These kids, they don't, She started out calling her mother to say, are there any dresses at the house that I would be able to wear for this holiday party? And her mom was like, I don't know. I'll just take you shopping. And so instead of Lauren saying, this is where it all went downhill, because instead of Lauren just saying, no, that's okay, I just wanted to see if there were any dresses, I appreciate it, but no thanks, she was like, okay, because I know what's going through Lauren's head. Lauren's head is, well, if she's going to buy me a dress, I'm going to let her buy me a dress. And if she's taking me shopping, then
She's
she's
gonna
going to take me to
lunch.
lunch. And I'm like, you have, okay, that's a separate conversation. I'm not even going to go there. So anyway.
Yeah, because all this stuff you want her to say to her mom, think about, have you said it to your dad? But go ahead.
I don't talk to my dad. Like,
That's
you
not the
keep bringing
point.
this
I'm
up.
talking
I
about
don't
over the
understand.
years, but go ahead.
Anyway, no, I have decided to cut that relationship off.
Okay.
So totally different situation.
Okay.
But anyway, so she goes, and of course we're like, okay, well, before she even went, I'm like, you need to understand that you asked for this. This was your doing. You asked for it, so be prepared for what you're going to get. And what you're going to get is likely what you have gotten in the past. So just be prepared, okay? But I hope you have fun. I hope you find a dress, whatever. And so she's texting us throughout the day, and she's like, oh my God, she's like taking me, she's like hostage. She's, we're going to Macon, and yes, we did go eat, but, we got to pick up the kids and do all this and that and whatever. So anyway, don't hear any more from her. Don't see any pictures. So, I don't know whether she's gotten a dress or not. And she comes home about 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that, and walks in the door. I'm up here on my computer. She walks in the door, and I can tell she's not her normal self because she's not saying hey to the dogs. It's that normal, when she walks in the door, they're excited. I don't hear any of that. So I know it's not, it's not good. And all I hear is you say something to her, and then I hear her bust out crying. And I come downstairs, and I didn't know what it was until later that you had said to her. Do you want to say it?
I was on the back porch. I walked in. I could tell she'd been crying. I said, "Do you need a hug?" And she just did like that. And I went over there and I hugged her. And like when I tell you Lauren's not a hugger,
Just not a hugger.
not at all. But I could just tell she was heartbroken. And so I went over there and we just hugged for, I don't know how many ever minutes or whatever. And she's just like bawling. I'm just like, golly, And then Annie, I think, eventually comes down there after that or whatever. But
yeah, so the dress shopping did not go as well as she would have liked or have hoped. And it immediately sent me into just like infuriated rage in my body because I'm just thinking, I don't understand. I am a mother. Now, I am a mother of a son, but I don't think that it matters. I think, because I'm a daughter. I had a mom. My mom didn't do this to me. I don't understand how you can tell somebody, no, this doesn't look good on you, that your stomach doesn't look good, or this is going to show your stomach, or, you aren't skinny enough to wear that particular dress, or, it doesn't look good on you. It's not a good color on you. It's not a good, I understand not good color, not good shape. Like maybe this is not the most flattering look for you. Let's keep looking. I understand that because I had a boutique. You want the best flattering look for yourself, but because you want it to be flattering and pretty, not because you're worried about what other people think. And everything that she said, or at least what Lauren is saying, how Lauren took it, is that everything she is saying is basically, it's really all about what everybody else thinks. And it was really all centered around her stomach. Like, this dress doesn't look good on your stomach. This dress shows your stomach. You need to wear shapewear. It was never there was just never, I don't think anything good about any of them said. And then the ones that she wanted Lauren to try on, they had like bows. Bows are a big thing right now. Bows are very trendy right now. But Lauren she's not a bows girl. She just is not. She does not like that. She doesn't like the puff sleeve that was trendy last year. She doesn't like florals. Like, she just likes, kind of more, I don't want to say basic, but it is more toned down,
less girly
looks. And I wouldn't even say that, because the dress that she ended up getting was beautiful and very
Well, no,
girly.
I agree, but when I say girly, I mean like
I think
frou-frou-y. Oh, geez. I mean like frou-frou-y kind
yes,
of girly.
it's just not, it's just not, she's not into those other type of things.
Yeah.
And so, because she didn't want to try the dress with bows on, or, didn't want a dress with bows on it, she's told, you don't have any style. You don't know what's trendy, and you don't have any style. And it was just made to feel bad about herself. And dresses that Lauren tried on, that Lauren felt like looked good on her, and she liked the way that they looked. She was told, you can't get that. It doesn't look good on you. You're not going to wear that. You can't post a picture in that. And just the beat down. It was just a total beat down. And so she wanted me to go back with her the next day. And she didn't need me to do this. Like, I wasn't buying the dress for her. I don't know why. She didn't need me to go at all, but I did. And the dress that I found another dress that I didn't even see for her to try on, and she tried it on, and she was like, I really like this dress. I didn't see this yesterday. Where did you find this? And I'm like, literally just tucked behind something else. And then she wanted to try the one on that she had tried the day before that she really liked, but she was told did not look good on her. And she tried it on, and I was like, that's the dress. Like, what do you think? And she's like, I love it. I love how it looks up here. I think it fits well up here. I didn't know if I was going to like this little flowy, but it looks good. And the way that you tied it, it makes it, do this. And she's like, I like it. I love this color. I think this is a good color on me. And I was like, I absolutely agree. I think that is the dress. If you love it, if you like it, I love it. That's the dress. And so she got the dress, and we found jewelry for it and all this stuff. And even up until that yesterday morning, she's being told, asked what kind of shoes she's going to wear. And she's like, well, it's either going to be, black or nude. And you can't wear black. Black doesn't go with it. It needs to be nude or a clear heel or something like that. And I'm just like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. I do not understand the mentality of beating somebody. I mean, I do understand it. It's a controlling and bullying
there's definitely a bullying element to it. The challenge with it is it's not met with constructive stuff. It's not met with compliments. It's not met with stuff to build you up. And because there may be times where I don't like, if Lauren says, hey, does this look good? I might say, I don't know that I like that one, or I think this looks better, or whatever the case may be. There are times where I say that, not often, but there are plenty of other times where I'm intentionally trying to build her up and make her feel good. I mean, because it's just like, if all you do is just beat someone down for so long, they start to believe it.
Yeah, I'm all about being a girl's girl. I'm not going to let one of my girls walk out of the house. Let's just say, you remember when last year on Beverly Hills, old Denise came in with her freaking jacket on upside down, and Dorit was just trying to help her fix it, and she was
super defensive.
She was drunk or whatever, but but that kind of thing. I'm not gonna let you go out looking stupid like that. If you're wearing your jacket upside down, if it's inside out, if you got toilet paper on your shoe, like, I'm not gonna let those things happen. But if there's an outfit that you love and you love your body and how it looks in that, I'm going to ask you, well, what do you think? And you start telling me all the things you like about it, then I love it for you. Then I love that for you.
Well, and the other thing, and I have learned this, and I mean, I even do it with you too, is, I know Lauren, there's parts of her body she's not completely happy with right now, because she'll make comments about it. And I've said, look, let's go to the gym. I'm happy to work out with you, blah, blah, blah. But once I realized that wasn't what the motivation that she needed, I stopped doing it. I was like, okay, if you ever decide otherwise, you let me know, and I'm here. I'm happy to do it with you. Because I have even learned with you, like, I can ask you to go to the gym till I'm blue in the face, but until you decide that you want to do it, it's not going to do any good.
Or making me feel badly about going.
Yeah.
Like, it just, that's not the motivation that's going to get me there either. Yeah. And so it was just, I don't know, it was so infuriating to me to see her just feel so defeated about something that she should feel good about. And it was so sad to me. And it's sad for me to see any girl growing up like that. It's so extremely sad. And it's a toxic relationship. It's a toxic behavior, and it's unfortunate. And she's going to have to make that decision on when and where, she draws that line at what point. And I know it's not going to be now. If it happens, it will be later, but it just, I was enraged. So anyway, she went last night. She got her dress.
Sends us a text message with all this money laying down. It was like, I don't even know how much it is until I count it. And we were like, what in the world? You know, because we knew she didn't work yesterday, and we're like, where's this money come from? So anyhow, she had won the opportunity to go in one of those money tunnel things that shoot up the money in the air and all that stuff. And come to find out, you know, because we talked on the last episode that she had pulled 2 names for the Angel Tree or Toys for Tot, whatever it was. And, you know, we had taken, Lauren and I went and ate lunch last week, and, you know, we'd gotten one of the kids a bike. And so, and there's a few other things to go along with what Lauren had bought. So when she and I went, we took the bags of stuff, we took the bike and put it in the little box or whatever. Well, apparently Lauren was the only one to turn anything in at this point. So to reward her, the owners and the management team at Sunny said, hey, Lauren, you get to go in there. Well, bless her, she's not the most athletic in the world. And of course, she's wearing a dress that's not really conducive for this type of thing anyway. So she pays someone else $100.
And it's short. She doesn't need to be wearing that dress. I already told her that.
But so she apparently pays someone else $100 to go into this tunnel.
She didn't really pay that. Well, she asked them to go in there and do it. They went in there and did it, and then whatever the money it was, they were going to like split it, or she was going to give her a portion of it. And so this woman ended up catching $248 or $284, something like that. And Lauren gave her $100 of that, and they basically like split it that way. But I was thinking about that amount of money. She ended up probably more, either exactly or more, or very close to what she ended up spending on these kids. She ended up getting back from this, from getting to go in that.
That's crazy.
Anyway, where I was going with all of it is that she found this dress. She loved it. She looked beautiful. Ashley did her hair. Lauren had done all her makeup and everything, and she looked so very pretty. And so I asked her, I'm like, can I share this? Can I share this picture that you sent us? Can I share it, on Instagram or whatever? And she was like, yes. And so I'm going to share it, on our Life's Little whatever, on mine and on that one, because it was very pretty. But it just went right through me. I couldn't help myself. Like I typically can just keep all that in, and I just could not. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, it kind of gets back to, when stuff like that happens more than once, and it happens multiple times, you just kind of expect it. At some point, you have to put your personal well-being and your personal health and your personal mental health into consideration before you continue to put yourself in that situation, because unfortunately some people they're just not going to change, and no matter what, that's the way they're wired. And Lauren, I think you kind of alluded to this. I mean, Lauren has to make the decision of how does she continue that relationship, and and then you have sisters involved in it,
and that's the thing, right?
They're too young to be driving and all this stuff, so it's almost like it's inevitable that it's going to happen.
She's locked into she's locked into that situation if she wants to continue to have a relationship with them, which she does, and she should, and until that they could be more independent and communicate with her without having to go through, her mother. And I'm not suggesting that she cut off a relationship with her mother, but she has to be able to learn how and what she can accept or get from, and be willing to have the conversation and say, no.
I think that's
I don't accept that. Yeah. You don't get to talk to me like that. And, she's been taught that having any type of response is disrespectful. And I'm like, absolutely not. You are allowed to stand up for yourself in a way that is not raising your voice, that is not cussing, that is not being rude, but just simply standing up for yourself is not being disrespectful. And that has been that literally is ingrained in her, that the concept of me trying to unravel that is so hard.
Yeah, but I think to a certain extent, Lauren's ability to communicate is improved 1,000-fold since she's moved back in here with us. And so I guess the point is, previously Lauren would bottle it up. So
Correct.
Then when any communication came out, it probably was disrespectful. It probably was yelling. It probably was,
Agreed.
And so her being taught that based on how she lashed out, I'm sure was appropriate. But what would have been more appropriate is let's not even let it get to that point. Let's learn how to communicate with each other, yada, yada, yada.
You're allowed to have an opinion.
So I say all that to say that I think that if Lauren were to try to have that same conversation or get the same feedback or stand up for herself or defend herself, I think it would come across much differently now than it would have, let's say, 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know if it's going to be received.
It would not be received.
Correct.
Exactly.
I don't know that it's going to be received any differently.
No,
so.
There's no amount of being able to. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, that was my. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. And typically, again, I don't talk about any of that. I leave it here at the house. I don't share that, as far as like on social media and stuff like that. But I'm like, fuck that. I'm over that. I'm way over that. So.
Well, and I've always kind of, my position on that. I've always.
You don't want to make it harder.
I've always bit my tongue and always whatever, but and I wouldn't put anything like that in like a face because there's so many ways you can misread it, and like I said, it's not going to do any good anyways. But anyhow, I thought she looked beautiful as well. I'm glad she had a good time. She's planning on having some friends over to take advantage of Annie's winter wonderland after going to dinner with a couple of friends. So we're excited about that too. But
yeah. And we've been taking the dogs
looking at Christmas lights.
Frequently looking at Christmas lights. And I thought we were going to go again tonight, but she's
There's some good ones around the area.
There's some really good ones. Some really, really good ones. These people are going all out. It's crazy.
We saw, this is the first time I've seen one of them like this, where the guy actually had a projector going up against the side of his house, and it actually had a movie playing. Yeah. And it was high quality projector. It looked like sure enough you're sitting there in a theater. And then up in the window in the bonus room, there was another movie that was playing, and he had all of his lights and all that stuff connected to the sound and everything. It was
the lanterns.
The lanterns were cool.
Oh my God, they were so pretty.
They looked like huge snow globes.
Oh, it was so pretty. Yeah, there's some really, really good ones.
But the dogs enjoy it. They just sit there and hang out the window and look at it the whole time. So I'm assuming they're getting into the lights. It seems to keep their attention pretty well. But I don't know if it's that or just riding. Who knows? But
all of it, all the above. We're always going to do that because they're only here for so long. That if you send me one more of those freaking videos.
My algorithm is dog stuff,
and I've gotten to the point where I don't even open them anymore.
The ones that say don't. Now's your reminder to take your dogs because we only have 10 to 15 seasons to do something like this with them. It's sad stuff. So
cannot watch it. That's not happening for my dogs. Yeah, so
they're gonna live forever.
Living forever.
Speaking of, I need y'all's help.
No, you're not getting another dog.
Let's just go ahead and start planting the seed for number 3.
No, we've already talked about this. We have 2. We have equal. If we get another, we are then outnumbered. It makes no sense.
They would bond with Lauren.
No.
And she would have to learn how to take care of them.
No. First of all, no. I'm not.
What name did we come up with the other day?
I'm not telling.
It started with Roe. Something Roe was in there.
I'm not telling. But I'm not buying a dog for Lauren. No, that's not happening.
No, it would be for us.
No, you're talking about it would bond with Lauren. It would be she'd have to. No, that's not happening either. Okay. When she is responsible and can move out and pick up poop, she can get a dog. But we're not doing that.
Fair enough.
So, anywho, okay, well.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
All right.
I think it's about that time.
We will post this tomorrow on Wednesday. We're on like episode 25 or something. Why are you telling them
when we're going to post this? Like, they're already listening to it at this point.
Very good point.
Yeah, very good point.